Sunshine, Z, it's our turn. Wait, we can talk now? Oh, DJ Moore and JordonAM. Let's get it! Is that what they say now? I think so. Thank you, Sunshine and Z. Now it's our section. Go ahead, Austin.
As you may know, the end of the year is coming up, and the new year will be starting in a roughly 2 months, meaning a new cycle of directors will be coming to the radio station. Today we have
Kevin Clardy. I will be the director for Inside the Huddle. It's a podcast we run on WEDMFM.com. And then I will also be the director of the sports staff.
My name is Jordan Mallory, and I will be the director of podcasting.
My name is DJ Mookie, and I will be the director of the music staff.
And we will be asking some questions about their experiences being an assistant director. So, what are some things you are looking forward to?
Well, I'm really looking forward to really taking the reins. I've been watching my current director, Mitchell Durnell. He's the director for sports and Inside the Huddle. I mean, his job looks very hard, so I'm kind of worried. At the same time, I am excited, but it seems like a great learning opportunity because this is something I could see myself doing outside of high school.
I'm looking forward to the new staff that will be cycled from the old staff. I know one of them, his name is Brian McCoy, and I know I could probably be myself since I'll be a senior this time. And I don't think podcasting will be that difficult to manage, seeing that there's only been 2 podcasts this year. One failed badly, but I think I'll be doing fine this one.
Which one failed, Jordan?
It was Listen Up from,
Oh, who was that by?
Z.
Oh, okay. Me, what am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to teaching the future AD directors, and I'm also looking forward to being in charge, being like the leader of the situation now that I have learned from DJ Maya how to do, run things on the music staff, scheduling and all of that.
What are some changes that you think could be made for next year?
Well, I haven't talked to our teacher, Mr. Whitehair, about this yet, but I was thinking that for Inside the Huddle, instead of breaking up the segments, we do like a continuous segment, like kind of how you guys do on Warren's World, where you guys keep it flowing. There's not a lot of breaks. It's just the same people on the podcast and just a fluent motion. So I was going to run that by him and maybe even starting to record some of our podcasts like with cameras showing our faces and create a YouTube channel, something big to make this look like an actual next level podcast.
That is a good idea, having a podcast on YouTube, because that's how you would get out your audience, because YouTube is like really huge. Another change is we could be talking about other extracurricular activities in school, because I feel like we just focus too much on the athletics department on that, things like that. Yeah, exactly. Or music talent in here, because we don't talk about the talent show a lot. We definitely need to like have like if there's ever a talent show, we could bring in the radio team and broadcast that to everybody on 91.1 WEDM.
Yeah. Like you were saying, even though the internet has taken control over things, radio and TV are still major parts of promoting stuff. So it's like when you have events like the talent show and all of that, and they talk about the fail of ticket sales, that's the main reason why, is because the lack of promotion and the lack of talent out there, because we're not promoting it as something as big as it should be. But some changes that I could, be making that could be made for next year on the music staff.
Spit it out.
Just go. Don't hurt yourself. I mean, you don't know what changes should be made?
No, I really don't.
Well, that's fine. Next question, please.
Did you enjoy being an assistant director this year?
Well, yes and no, because I'd say yes because I did learn a lot, but no because I wasn't able to take over. I love being able to take charge and command really my job. Like if you give me a job, I want to be at the helm of that job. I want to be able to control everything and all the aspects that go into that job. And it wasn't my year. I'm not a senior, so I had to sit back and watch the seniors work their magic, but hopefully I'll get the chance to do it next year.
For me, it's going to be a straight no. It seemed more like just like a title than anything, because my director didn't really seem to be doing a lot, and it made me feel like that when I become a director next year, I just won't be doing a lot. But I do like being a leader. I am the captain of a team, and I did not like being an underling of a team before. That's why I became a captain. So as you can see, I like taking charge. but it kind of did still feel like a normal staff task for me for my podcasting section. I still felt like I just had to do what I had to do from last semester. I didn't really feel like I gained power in anything.
That's interesting. Well, for mine, my director was very hands-on. DJ Maya was very hands-on with showing me how to do things on the music staff. It was very complicated, and it needs to be taken very seriously because the music is what runs the radio station. So she really was hands-on with me, showing me how to do things, running through things more than once just so that I could understand, because next year I'll be the leader of someone else and I'll have to teach them. So I did feel the title of a AD because it was like she was hands-on with me, and then once she showed me everything, she backed up. So it was like I kind of felt like I stepped into the shoes of the director a little bit because she kind of let me step back and do my own thing. So that was good.
What are you worried about for next year?
Nothing. I really feel like I learned a lot this year, and I feel like I've learned enough to really take over next year and do great.
What I'm worried about next year is that the juniors that are coming in here and how they'll take next year, because
I take that back. I'm with Jordan.
Yeah, because it seemed like when we got in, they just put a lot on you. Like they're just like, okay, now you have to do this. Because when we were doing like classic Sophony and all that thing, they never told us that you had to switch it to Compander and Pop Master.
Right.
Like that's something that was completely missed, and that just frustrated me. And we got points taken off. We didn't know why. And then they were just sitting there like, oh, you got to do is Compander and Pop Master and Compander again. I'm just sitting there like, well, why didn't you tell me in the beginning of the year? But that's what I'm worried about for next year. I just hope that the juniors that come in next year will actually get everything, and that we give out enough information so we could set them up for success.
Well, I feel like that's something we have to do from the beginning. If we give them leadership at the beginning of the year, not just wait till
having it next semester is kind of weird,
because it was like they just pushed it all on us, and then it was like good luck, and then we're like we had so many questions and stuff, so it was like it was a big load on us after like the intro classes, because it was like, dang, it's a lot more in advanced classes. But what am I worried about? Forgetting some stuff over the summer, because summer comes and you have a lot of fun.
Oh Lord!
And then I gotta come back like, how do I do that again?
Exactly.
So but it'll come back. Slowly, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
What are some criticisms you have for this year?
When you say that, do you mean for my director or for myself?
In general.
Yeah, I think just this
Well, I'll start with my director. Mitch is great. Mitch is great. I really don't have anything bad to say about him. He's really good. There's nothing bad to say about Mitch. Mitch is great. But me, I feel like I really could have communicated with my peers a lot more. Wasn't as focused as I should have been all year. I tend to get a little distracted. I'm a people's person. That's one of my flaws. I love people. I love working with people, and I love talking to people. And sometimes that takes me away from my work and what I need to be doing to be successful. So I feel like those are two things that I really need to work on this summer.
I think one of my criticism is that there was way too much focus on sports this year. Like, I think last year,
hey man, that's my department. Watch where we going with that.
Well, I got much to talk about on the next one, but it seemed like an intro to radio, there was like more focus on the actual like radio
aspect of radio.
Yeah, like we were just talking about radio completely, and then all of a sudden next year we have to talk about sports. Like you have to have knowledge on it, and I have absolutely no knowledge on it at all. So I think that's my only criticism right now for this section right now. We're going to talk about that later on.
I kind of get where you're coming from, because as someone who doesn't like really care for sports, I would understand you would get tired of talking about Friday night football and county basketball games and stuff like that. But Warren Central it's amazing when it comes to athletics. So people want to hear that kind of stuff, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to give people what they want. But don't get me wrong, I feel like there should be more than just sports when it comes to radio, because radio is not just sports. Radio is music, blogs, podcasts, all that stuff. So I feel like we should do a better job of implementing that kind of stuff into next year.
I think they need to also just promote the different aspects of radio on the announcements, like get it out there, because it's like you never see radio that spotlighted on the announcements other than when it's like time to, like, you know, where they sometimes at the beginning of the year they be like, take this class and I'll show like a little preview or something, but it's like show the different departments of radio and how fun it can be, because radio is not boring, and it has many various outlets to where you can, you know, find something that you like.
I feel like we're that class that's like where people think about all the other classes, and then when they can't think of anything else, they're like, oh yeah, there's that radio class. I feel like that's what our radio station is about, and I don't like that. I want it to be like one of the first picks for people for junior year.
Are there any personal opinions about the station?
All right, you two go first, because I got
music. I don't like the music.
Music is definitely one of mine. I feel like I know they want to get a wide variety of music, but I feel like
we should have song every two times.
Well, I feel like okay. My only criticism is I feel like we should have a little bit more say about what goes into the system. Yep. I know they say all we listen to is hippity hoppity blah blah blah. The G Herbals, the Black Youngsters, all of them. But some of us actually have pretty good taste in music. I mean, I feel like we could really get this station more towards teenagers,
a larger demographic.
Yeah, because nowadays teenagers are the ones who's mostly listening to the radio and stuff like that, driving and stuff like that. So I feel like our connection with our peers would show a lot more if we had more chance to put music onto the station.
You got to think we are a radio station at a high school, and most of the high schoolers don't even listen to 91.1.
They listen to Pandora and iHeartRadio.
And it's like
Hot 96.3.
We should be the Hot 96 of Warren Central.
We got to give them a reason to listen to us. And it feels like this year we didn't do that.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, and it's like the music is okay, but I feel like we could add a little bit more of this and that in it to make it more interesting, especially for the youth, because that's what our, you know what I'm saying, who we want to target a little bit more of, because that is where our radio station is at. It's at a high school full of kids. So
all right, is everybody done with their opinions?
Yeah.
All right,
here we go. Okay.
Spare feelings.
91.1 WEDM in general just needs to change. I feel like we're way too far in the past. No matter how much the amount of, like, we were kept bragging about how this year we have all the newest technology and things like that we brag about, but then we just don't dabble in the modern times. We like Pike High School, they probably don't have the best radio station, but they're with the times. They have a whole esports department, and they broadcast it on Twitch and their radio station and things like that, and they're getting tons of reception and views from it. And also another thing is that you can't gain a fan base by just not talking about it.
Right.
I feel like I've been suppressed talking about esports this whole time that I've been in here, and it's kind of annoying, and it's not how you gain a fan base. You just can't pop, there's an esports fan base now. You gotta talk about it. You gotta be like, hey, there's a section here where it's just for those people who like the gaming concept. And I know I'm not a T-sports person, but it seems, like they said, they constantly push it, which is like half of the problem. Like, for example, my YouTube channel is not all gameplay, walkthroughs, and things like that anymore. I usually do skits, I do podcasts, I have collaborations with other YouTubers in that newly defined JordonAM. He's not some random gamer anymore. He's or on the internet anymore. He's now a personality. He gets around and he expands. And also, I haven't been able to be that JordonAM in the class recently. And Jordan and JordonAM are completely different people with different personalities. Like right now, I feel like I'm a mix between Jordan and JordonAM when I'm talking about this because I have so many strong feelings about it. But if we just talked about the esports club and get it, maybe to push it to be funded, have a department, get a broadcast for it, we definitely get way more listeners. We'd get definitely way more viewers and things like that. And like having a YouTube channel for our radio station.
Why don't we? Like, I've just thought about that. We should have a YouTube channel.
Like, it's we're so old. Like,
Yeah. Visuals are just as important as, hearing something. People want to see the faces out there working, out there doing the work.
they want to know the people like, who is, like,
I always hear DJ with such and such on the radio, but I want to see what he or she looks like.
Like, you know how DJ Mitch has like this really deep and amazing voice, and people are just like, people probably like, I want to know what he looks like.
Yeah.
But that also comes with the criticism about having too much sports, because I got a lot of things on Facebook. They're like, I've been listening to the radio station lately, and I hear we listen to it during cosmetology, and all we hear is sports, and I've gotten extremely tired of it because it's a part of like the news and the on air section, and it that is excessive. Like have a section, like you can have it on news,
right?
But have it as a tiny part. It doesn't need to be like 2 news and then a sports. It could be like a sports thing, like if they're very, very small, like it just doesn't need to, or it could just not be there at all, because we have a whole podcast on it, which is Inside the Huddle. By the way, if you do like sports, go check it out. I've been ripping it. Yeah, I've been ripping it this whole time, but definitely go check it out. But yeah, I think I'm done now.
You think you're done?
I think.
Are there any closing notes that you guys have?
There are a lot of improvements that need to be made. Although this is a great radio station, it continues to grow, and it needs to make improvements to grow more. So.
We can only go up from here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, and juniors, don't think I'm like this all the time. Please, newcomer, please.
He definitely is like this.
I'm not. I mean, yes, I'm hyper, but I mean, like, I'm also direct. Actually, never mind. This is exactly how I am.
I wouldn't call you hyper. I'd call you passionate.
Passionate.
True,
Ooh, yes.
True. Yeah. Very passionate. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of this episode. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Sparks, for helping us. It's Malia. We're gonna pass it on over to James, not Michael Jordan, and B Squared. Thank you for listening in. This has been everybody here, and we'll see you later.
All right, I'm bored. Let's bring it on over to B Squared and James, not Michael Jordan. I'm gonna miss you all. You better treat them right, you two, or I'm gonna... Actually, I don't know.